Hello again. It's Jonathan at the piano lesson. Hope everyone's doing well out there. I thought I would continue with my fingering rules from last week, our tetchchord fingering rules, but for the left hand, not for the right hand. And then maybe try to put hands together and also talk about, just practically speaking, how would you use this goofy stuff anyway? Why would you want to know fingering and scales? Well, one thing that's a lot of fun to do is do something called a run. What's a run, you say? Well, a run is not something in a stocking. A run is not something that you make after going to a questionable Mexican restaurant. A run is a scalar passage that one tends to use to as an embellishment, in a sense, or it's other kind of exciting little snippets. And I might talk about a tune where we can apply that. There's a tune called "Watch What Happens." It's a very nice tune. It's relatively simple to use to play, not to use it, but to use runs in the tune. And so we'll get to that. I mean, the tune itself is this. Watch what happens. I forget the words, but you can see it. This one's E flat, C7, 6, F minor 7, 2, 5, B flat. Going up chromatically. E flat, E natural, F, F sharp, G, all major 7 chords. 2, 5, and F, G minor 7, C7, F, F minor 7, B flat 7, C7, F, you can play F there or F minor 7, and then ending on E flat 6 and going up chromatically to E, D, E flat. That's the whole tune. And usually it's done as a bossa nova. So the tune is it's let someone start believing in you. Da 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 da, hand, I remember the words. Da 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 da, watch what happens. So the bossa nova. I'm playing kind of a cluster of notes in the right hand: F, G, B flat, D, and then in the left hand, I'm just sort of playing quarter notes with, and I'm playing an open fifth in the left hand, E flat and B flat. It's kind of a typical bossa nova rhythm. Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba. Let someone live in See how the melody repeats? Sometimes I'll just play a note in the thumb to kind of keep the time. Anything fancy? Now sometimes that's a run, or maybe going up to the melody note. So that's a major scale, but but then I added a chromatic note just to give it some color. There's no one right way to do it, but typically we use scales, major scales. How do you know what fingers to use to do that? And also, you might want to go, you might want to go down like that. So you can go up to the melody note, or you can go down, let's say, to the bass. Right? You could also do unison, or you can do contrary motion. Opposite directions. I'll show you what it looks like from above for a second here. I'm not doing anything real fancy. I'm just kind of, I like these close clusters. I like the seconds. Using the pedal. I like this song because it helps us work on creating various voices. So we have the melody, and we have the bass note, and then we have the middle part, right? So this is like our saxophone player and our bass player and our guitar player. Right? That's just saxophone and bass. This is our guitar, you know. So I have my weight on the top half of the hand, heavier, so the melody stands out, and the weight on the other half of the hand is lighter. But it's kind of like a split, you know, idea where we have really two ideas, and then you know. A lot of that was chromatic. Maybe I want to go down. Nothing fancy, right? But all of that stuff, you have to have a certain command of fingering to do that. You know, you have to. It has to become second nature. So let's go. Let's look at the left hand, because you know we got to learn our scales. There's no way around it, friends. You know, I haven't figured out a way around it. I don't think anyone's going to figure a way around it. But it's fun. They're fun, and especially if you break it down into tetrachords. Nobody's going to show you this stuff anywhere. I promise you. I wish they would, but you know that's kind of why I'm spending time with it, because the other stuff you can find other places, which frankly I don't feel is quite as valuable. But anyway, so last week we were talking about there's like basically 9 different fingerings in the right hand for this major tetrachord group, and there's 12 major tetrachord groups: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? So there's C, G, D, A, E, B, F sharp, C sharp or D flat, A flat, E flat, B flat, F. Right? Those are the 12. And we had this fingering and this fingering and this fingering and a whole bunch of fingerings, which I'm not going to go into right now. But let's do the left hand. So usually in a major scale, if you're doing parallel motion, let's say you want to. The thing that you learn usually as a kid, very conventionally, you learn things like the third fingers come together. Well, that's okay, that's fine, but again, I just don't think that's necessarily a great way of learning a scale. You take the first 4 notes, all right? Typically, if you're going to start on a white key scale, you're going to be playing 5, 4, 3, 2, right? C, G, D, right? A, E, sorry. Now, B is not 5 because you'd end up with your thumb on a black key. So usually we start with 4, right? And then you have the black keys, F sharp, 4, right? 3, D flat, A flat, E flat, B flat, and F, 5, again, 5, 4, 3, 2, just like 1, right? So most of the time you're starting in a white key, you're starting 5, 4, 3, 2. But again, in the case of B, you're starting with the 4, so 4, 3, 2, 1, that's another fingering. Now, I don't know if you noticed, again, 6 out of the 7 white key scales have the same fingerings for the lower tetrachord. And the black key scales are even easier in a way. All of these scales, all the black key scales start with the 3rd finger, with the exception of F sharp or G flat that starts with the 4th finger. And it makes sense because this group of fingers goes with those keys. Now, here's the rule. If you start, the scales are 7 notes, right? So if you start with the 4th finger, you have a group of 4 notes. Well, 7 minus 4 is 3. So you have to cross with the 3rd finger. And you end with the same finger you started with. And when you practice these scales, you can just use one finger going up the keyboard like that. 3, 2, right? You don't have to start all the way up the scale. It's not necessary. So that's how people get better. They discipline themselves to break things down. So it's 4 plus 3, or it's 3 plus 4. 4. So it starts with 3 and ends with 3. 3. 3. 3 cross 4. 3 cross 4. 3 cross 4. 3 cross 4. My hand's still a little bit numb from my long COVID that I'm fighting, so it's still a little odd. So you could do that fingering on the white keys. There's nothing to stop you from doing that. We already did that with B. 4, crossing 4, but you could do 3, 3, 3 cross 4, or 4, and then you would have to cross 3, right? But that's really it. That's the only choice you have. So so let's write those down, okay? Let's write those down. C, D, E, F. That's our lower tetrachord, a lower major tetrachord. So you could do again 5, 4, 3, 2, all right? Or you could do, like we did on B, 4, 3, 2, 1. When I would work on music and I would do fingering, if I had alternative fingerings, I would just make a line like that, and that way you'd have an alternative fingering. 5, 4, or we said 3, 2, 1, 4. That's a possibility. Or we did 4, 3, 2, 1 and cross 3, right? But that's really what we're doing up here. So left-hand fingerings, folks, not so tough. We have a third of the possibilities in the left hand for those tetrachords. If you start with 4, 1, 3, 2, 1. So if I cross 1, 3, 2, 1, or yeah, that's right. 1, 3, 2, 1. So that's another possibility. 1, 3, 2, 1. If G, 1, 3, 2, 1. That's the second tetrachord group. 1, 3, 2, 1. Can you do that on the piano? Like that? Now, what am I doing technically? Well, I'm keeping my hand fairly still. My weight is centered on the middle finger. My thumb is kind of darting back and forth like that, right? My arm is pretty stable. Right, and as soon as I'm done with that thumb, I tuck that under, and I keep it nice and light. Okay, I don't get tense there. 1, 3, 2, 1. All right. Same for G. Same for D. Same for A. Same for E. B. 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's not quite the same. And F. 1, 3, 2, 1. Right? So there's an instance where we'd use that 1, 3, 2, 1 fingering over that major tetrachord group. All right? Yeah, 1, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1. And gosh, okay, 4. All right, how hard is that? There's like 4 possibilities. Now, putting hands together, well, okay, it is harder, but guess what? If you just limit yourself to 4 notes, it's a lot easier. And when you go to the keyboard, you don't want to have to think about the notes of the fingering. You want to just think of instinctively just a shape where your hands are going to kind of fall. Nobody has time to think about this stuff. So, again, if we're doing parallel motion, C major, 1, 2, 3, 1, and then 5, 4, 3, 2. Or contrary motion. That's a possibility. Or if you want to start on C's, 1, 3, 2, 1. Here's an instance where we're kind of mirroring both hands. If we played, that's 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we're doing parallel, now you can do back and forth. Or groups of 3s. Why would I want to do that? Well, you hear a lot of that in classical music, in Beethoven. That's a G major sonata. You hear that a lot in Beethoven. This kind of adjacent notes, but that comes in handy. B major. So if you're going, so here's the strategy, right? Rather than say to yourself, hey, I got to learn this whole scale today or this whole week, learn half the scale, okay? Just learn half the scale, and learn half the scale with the correct fingerings, and be certain of the fingerings in each hand, and particularly if the scale is less familiar, okay? And work on the scales that are less familiar, but it'll make it more manageable. So, you know, if you're going to, you think, oh, well, the black key scales are so hard. Well, they're not that hard. D flat major, I mean, that scale really actually feels very nice in the hand. Thumbs meet on the white keys. But doing this group, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4. Right, and then once you have this group, do the next group. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 2, 1, 3. Was that right? Yeah. 3, 2, 1, 3. 3, 4, 1, 2. 3, 2, 1, 3. And to kind of keep track of where you are, your thumbs come together, right? And threes, you start with threes. 2, 4, 1, and then 3, 2. Right, combine that with your, oh, I did the wrong finger. And then you knit those together. Now, you could also, rather than trying to go all the way through, or just looking at 2 blocks of tetrachords, you could start at different points in the scale. You could start at this on the second note, kind of like a mode. So if you start, that would be a minor mode. Right. Fingering is 3, 1, 2, 3. So you just got to be, ahead of time. You could even write it out. You know, okay, I'm working on that finger. 3, 2, 1, 3. We're doing an E flat minor tetrachord right now. That's the second mode in the scale, right? But using the right fingers. 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, and this is 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, all right? There we go. And then back down to the lower one. 2, 1, 4, 3 in the left hand. 3, 2. What did I do? 3. I wrote this wrong. You guys got to catch my mistakes. 3, 1, 2, 3. 3, 1, 2, 3. And then you take the next one. Now the next one, that's kind of interesting. You're starting with the thumb under the hand. You have this Phrygian mode, Phrygian tetrachord, right? And then you go back to your minor. Back to your major. And then and so on. You can kind of like build, you know, depends on how much patience you have, of course. You know, if you don't have any patience, you're not going to be able to do any of this stuff. You have to just be patient and methodical, you know, and break things down. And I'm breaking them down into tetrachord groups because it's it has musical meaning. And to do things technically without any musical underpinnings, I think is not really as good. It's not that you'd never do that, but it's always better if you can find some kind of musical meaning underneath what you're doing, underneath those tetrachord groups. So you could, again, just throw your hands down and you're in a situation, you don't have time to think, and you kind of have those in your hand. You know, you have you have a repertoire of fingerings, right? Separate from just doing them by rote in a book, okay? I mean, that has some merit as well, right? But if you're doing them and they don't have any meaning to you, you're not going to remember them, and also you're just not going to do them anyway because they're they're going to be like ultra boring. And we've all done those things. So that's fingering in the left hand, fingering in the right hand from last week, which you can look at, and then putting both hands together, and then going up the scales, just like we did with diatonic triads and diatonic seventh chords. These are diatonic tetrachords. And then, in the interest, again, if you're playing a tune and you want to do a little run, you know, that it gives you some facility, and it's fun to play that stuff. All right, I guess we've kind of run out of time. Thank you again for listening and watching and being you. And thank you, Francesco, for your comments, as always. And I will see you guys next time. Until then, this is Jonathan, the Piano Lesson at thepianolesson.com. And drop me a line, and I will see you in the next video.